Burning fast, sparks ignite the sky, chasing dreams as days go by. Through the dark, the fire burns, round we go as the world turns. In the night, we hear the call, rise above, we'll never fall. Heartbeats loud, a steady drum, find the light, here we come. We are stars in this wide galaxy, shining bright for all to see. Shed Talk.
Hello, welcome to Automotive Mayfair Shed Talk for this week, this month.
It's a bit hot in the shed, so we just did it in...
Yeah, do it out here on the decking with a nice couch. So, today, this is all about Project Bryn. We've got her back. There was an extensive list. I will post it up on the Facebook page only. You guys can, if you want to, I'll put a link at the end of this video. You can see that. You can jump on there and you can see the list. It was an extensive list. It took 3 months to get her back.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of waiting, damaging to my mental health, to be honest. Like, it was a lot of depression, anxiety, all sorts of weird feelings going on with it, because even though the insurance that we have is really good, no one talks to you. No one rings you and says, oh, we're still waiting on parts or whatever. They ring you when they've got the parts.
They're just sitting there in the dark, just going,
What do I do? And in the meantime, we're driving cars that we don't even like, and just getting around. And last 2 weeks, you've just been driving mine. Yeah,
which is better.
Yeah, we sent the loan vehicle, the Forester, back because I just had enough of it. Every time we get in there, I'd get a sore bum. The partner would get a sore back, and it had a nail in the tyre from when we picked it up, and it just got worse, and I refused to pay for it to be fixed. So it was just every 4 days I was pumping it up with air, so I had enough. Take it back.
So you drove mine, which was better.
Yeah, Project Rainer. That's why we fixed the headlights on it, fixed the fog light on it so that I could drive it to work safely and not have any issues. But yeah, the list, they've done all sorts of things. Some things I'm not happy with. It's come back with the weather seal on the driver's side door is stuffed. Now, I'm not going to name who did the work. It's probably not their fault, it's just where it's sat in their yard. I don't know why the bonnet struts no longer work. That's a weird one. They're not saying nothing about that, so I don't know. I'm just going to replace them with nicer, fancy ones. They're already on their way. I have to replace the battery because it sat around for 3 months.
There was another one, but it probably got fixed. So the aircon.
Yeah, the aircon was a bit of an issue when we first drove it down to go get some to local town to get some food, to get Chinese for dinner. And it was, usually I run it on, they've got 2 modes, they've got normal and they've got eco. I usually run it on the eco mode, and within 5 minutes it's nice and cool. But I had to put it, I usually run it no lower than 18.
Yeah.
This one we're having to put it on the lowest setting, flat out in normal mode, which was just draining fuel, and it still wasn't cold. And I just got really upset with the fact that once I saw in the list that they played around with the AC condenser, I thought, well, maybe they've stuffed it up. But today,
it worked well.
It's 33 degrees out here. It's warm. It's hot. It was freezing cold in there, so I'm going to chalk that up as if that's okay, and it's working now. I'll talk to the partner's brother. He's a mechanic, and see what he has to say.
It's probably because you haven't used it for.
No, I don't know if that's the case. Like in the modern cars, they usually sit in a lot for 3 months before people use them, and they get used. So I don't know. That is what it is.
We weeks he's working?
Officially, as of today, Widget's coming on board full time with Automotive Mayfair. He's going to be a co-presenter, so he's going to you see him more in the videos. He's going to be taking, going to be doing some cameraman jobs, some sitting here with me, chatting, talking, that sort of thing. He's also going to be taking the reins of Project Rayner, so that's his car, his thing. You'll see him doing some more work on it than me, so that'll be good going forward. So yeah. Anything you want to talk about? No? Nothing you want to talk about? No plans for you have for the future? Car-wise that you're looking at?
Car-wise, I'm looking at.
Yeah, that you're looking at buying?
Oh, no.
No?
Well, except for the Golf GTI.
Golf GTI for a P-plater car. That's pretty cool. That'll be interesting. They're expensive, but
Job I'm getting is going to be
they'll be worth it. That's it.
And then I have to wait until my full license get
The Golf R, so that's why we've sort of had a bit of a discussion about it off the cameras about it's better off getting the GTI first.
And then we go, oh yeah.
Then he's had a loan, all that sort of thing, and then he can trade that in and get less money off when he wants to buy the Golf R, because everyone knows the Golf R is like nearly $80,000.
Especially the new one.
Especially the new one when you want everything on it. So, you know, with the top notch, top of the range leather and everything, so you might as well go and get the whole lot. So yeah, to get all that, you pretty much, yeah, you may as well get a GTI, and then you might get 15 to 20,000, 18,000, depending on how many Ks it's on. If it only has 40,000 Ks or something, you might still get 15, 18,000 for you know, even up to 20,000 for a $60,000 car. The trading price on it, and you know, they'll sell it for 30 or something, and then he'll only have to pay, you know, the same price as what he's just paid for his last one, the 60,000 instead of the 80. So that should be good.
Yeah.
Going forward, we have a nudge bar on order, but they had cyclone stuff in the eastern states, which didn't end up happening. But they pretty much shut everything down. Everyone.
Isn't it still happening, or?
Yeah, well, we don't know. No one's saying nothing, but it just like it went past Australia. So the winds are supposed to be coming here today.
When?
Over the next couple of days, it's supposed to be hitting the South Australia,
Oh,
because it's
like-
come right around like Queensland and that, and it's coming around to us on the South Australia. So
I feel like our own version of the cyclone.
it won't be as bad because it's a lot of it's been tapered off.
Yeah, but it's our own.
But yeah, we're going to get some wind and some stuff coming around. So
You're talking about wind, we just got wind.
yeah, but there'll be like, you know, 80k winds. I was looking at 120 for the cyclone over there, but they just shut everything down because they were looking at floods, looking at all sorts of things. So it could have been a lot longer. I think it's going to be longer than 2 weeks to get it made.
Which is fine.
That's fine. I'm just going to take her easy through the cutting when I drive her through there. Once the nudge bar's on there, it'll be fine. It'll just give her some protection for the future. And they've got to make it so that it can dodge the two sensors. It's got the sensor up on the grill and the one down the bottom. They've got to make it so it goes. Yeah, I sent them the photo. They wanted a photo. I sent them the photo where the sensors are. So they're going to make it so that it doesn't hit any, like get and impede any of those sort of things. Because that's important. The last thing you want to do is get frontal protection, and then you lose all your line mitigation, which is.
And then there's another 3 months.
Then you're like, oh, what the hell am I doing? There's no point. I might as well take it off. Like you've just wasted $1,650 fitted, and it doesn't do all this thing. Or you've got to pay another $300 something for someone to recalibrate it again. Like that's just frustrating. It's just been recalibrated because they hacked it. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to have to recalibrate it myself out of my own cost. That wasn't insurance wise. And then of course the intake's getting done soon in the next couple of videos. That'll be the intake. So the nudge bar, I'm not going to do much footage on it. It's going to be mainly photos. I'll just put up a little short about it. It'll be photos, little walk around, bang, done. Maybe 25, 30 seconds, 45 tops. Just showing what it is. It's just a frontal protection. It's not really going to be a big aspect of
We're
this channel.
not gonna put it on ourselves. Are we?
No, it's getting fitted. It's getting fitted by professionals. So it's not going to be a massive aspect. I'm going to tie up a whole entire big lengthy video on. That's not what I want to do. It's just it's frontal protection, just to protect her, and it will just be. This is what she looks like at the front end now. Don't know if I'm going to do spotties later after getting out of Widges, Raynard, and into Bryn, driving home. Those lights are amazing. Like, I can see everything with the high beam and everything.
On your car?
Yeah, the LEDs are so much better. So
See, driving my car, you get to appreciate your car a bit more.
you do, yes. You get to see that, oh geez, these lights actually are quite good. So the Subaru lights weren't as good as the MG. You know, this is a Chinese car. This is what I don't get about people. I don't want to get into a rant here, but people ragging on Chinese cars, but they have so much technology in them, especially SAIC MG cars, because they make all the products for Volkswagen and Audi. A lot of the products and like the switches and things in the MGs are from Audis. I mean, they're a couple year olds Audis and Volkswagens, but they're all from they make them, so you know the switch gear is good. It's all good switch gear. It's all good. So this car's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Like we were discussing when you were driving back. If the engine goes and I can't get another one, I'll find a Golf engine or an RS3 engine, and we'll Haltech ECU it.
Because it's going to stay in this family for a while.
I want this car forever. I want to keep it till I die, pass it on to Wedge, and he can do whatever he wants with it, drive it, whatever he likes, because the way the world's looking at the moment is internal combustion engine is going to be a thing forever, because they've got hydrogen. So look, that may be how it have to do. Go down the path later when he gets it. He might be able to give it to one of his kids or whatever is their first car and detune it. And
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, detune it and things. I mean, she'll be an old car by then, but you know, it's still a pretty decent, nice car now. So, and that's a really nice thing to be able to hand down to the grandkids. MG is looking at making a ute, so in the future I am looking at that as a second vehicle. This will be the toy for the weekends. The MG.
What happened to that? What happened with the Ranger?
Well, I won't need it.
Wait, you're just going to get rid of it?
Oh, we'll sell it to someone else. It will eventually, they will eventually hit 330,000 k's, and that's their limit, that's their max. So it's already got a weird whine in the front end, and if that's the transmission pump, it may only have another 100,000 k's left in it if we're lucky. So we're just getting this, what he wants to do.
Golf GTI.
Go and get his Golf GTI. We can send that one off. I can drive that to work until it dies, and then go and get the MGU and keep this for the weekend.
How much is the MGU going to be?
Oh look, they're going to be around 60-something thousand.
So you're just going to get another car though?
Yeah, pretty much. Just keep working, keep
What does
doing
the
it.
design look like?
They've only been a couple of pictures so far, but if you look it up on Google, you'll find the MGU. You'll see a lot of them. A lot of them are the older models. They're pretty much an LDV if you're here in Australia, but if you're in other countries, it's the MG Ute. So I don't know what they're actually called, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes here, because if it comes here, then LDV I think will lose a lot of sales and it will shut them down, which I don't think anyone's going to be too upset about. I mean, it comes from the same company anyway. It's just moving from one brand, shutting down one brand, so that SAIC can sort of consolidate its brands and say, right, we're doing MGs, and that's what we're doing. We're just going to do MG now worldwide, and that's who they make for, and that will just save the money.
MG should do a performance hot hatch.
Well, they do.
Not the MG3.
Well, that's something that they need to look at. It's not what we need to look at. I mean, it would be good for then you can modify the MG3s. There's a place in Queensland doing an SP23 rally version, which is just some stickers and some black wheels, I think. A bit of a little bit different upgraded interior.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the rims you're getting too on the MG?
Well, the rims, they will be at tax time. I'm going to be spending pretty much my entire tax check on. We're going to keep the same tyres.
Yeah,
I'm not going to
tyres are
change
good.
the tyres because I've got good tyres on there. They're good performance, Goodyear efficient grips. The performance tyres, they're good. They handle perfect in the dry and they grip really well. They handle really well wet. I've not even aquaplaned once, or even got anywhere near close to aquaplaning, even with water running across the road, hitting it at 100 k's an hour. It's not even done any weird things or nothing. So kudos to that brand. Everyone thinks, oh, you know, Michelin's and your Continentals, they're the top two, but Goodyear, they're up there with them as well. They just don't cost as much.
When I drove the car today, the tyres are nice.
Yeah.
Went from the
And they're quiet. That's the biggest thing, is they're so quiet on the road, which allows you to hear other things like your exhaust and your intake, because, or your music. You don't have to, oh, there's bloody road noise on this fucking course road so bad I've got to turn the music up. None of that. There's none of that at all. So
even though your music is loud.
yeah, well, there's no point listening to quiet music, is there?
Yeah, but
What else is there to talk about today? The intake's going to take a bit of a turn, I think. Looking at cost-wise and power-wise, you're not really going to gain much by getting a pod filter to an airbox system, so I'm going to try and just do the intake pipe. That'll help just increase the airflow. Also taking it down to get serviced and things, I can remove and put the standard system back in.
instead of just doing the whole
And try and not lose my warranty too much. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, they may, with the coils and the exhaust, they might just say, nah, she's done if something goes wrong. But they might not. They might say, look, that doesn't really do anything. But your intake, and you've done an extra thing here. You're like, you know, you've put a pod filter on there, and you're adding all this, and yeah.
they'll go,
Once I tune it, that's all not going to matter anyway. But what I'm thinking of is,
when you
they
tune
call
it,
them hot air intakes, right? Because once they get heat soaked, they don't perform anymore. With the K&N air filter in the airbox, you're getting air directly from out the front of them, under the bonnet, under the grill there. And so you're getting the coldest air you can possibly get in there. And the panel filter is going to be just as good as the pod filter. You just won't hear the big noise and the big induction noise, but that's fine. I'm looking for power, and it's an SUV, it's a family car. You don't really want to be like, hey, look at me all the time, and the cop's pulling you out. And it's going to be chrome, so it's going to look fancy underneath there.
you're gonna do it once the warranty's done.
No, it'll be getting done before the warranty's done. I'll be able to put the pipe on. Like I said, the worst case scenario is if I feel a bit weird about it, I can put the standard thing back in there for the day, and no one's going to know.
And once like
And
years down, you can get an upgraded curve.
Yeah, well, the idea is to do the intake. I found a set of DBA brake discs. They're slotted. They're the same size as, or a little bit bigger. Not much. I think these are 312s. They're the same size as the front ones, but they're slotted. I'm going to get them. I'm going to put the DBA street. These are street series, both of them, and they're just normal ones at the back. But I'm going to get the DBA. I'm just going to get the full set. It costs a couple $1,000, so be it. And then do the brake pads as well, because they're a bit better brake pad than just the standard ones, and that should give us the better braking ability, especially with the, you know, with the slotteds on the front. It doesn't need, like, I think where I'm going with it is because we're going to be doing family trips. We're going to be getting we've got a camper trailer at the moment, but we're going to be getting like a lightweight caravan, so we can go on nice holidays and things like that. Towing, you don't want a 500 horsepower car. You're just going to overstress the transmission and cause problems. So that's what we're going to do. We're just make it a little bit less power. We'll get it tuned. Suspension, we'll have a look at. There's a place in China or Taiwan that can do it. So that's that. That's pretty much it for this month. Going forward, so we'll be in touch soon. We're just going to be doing some thumbnails and stuff for these videos. So like I said, he's coming on board more, so you'll get to see more of him in front of and behind the camera. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the brakes that we're going to be doing on Bryn. We've just got some facts about the GTI I'd like to read out. Go on, read them out.
Why do I need to read it out?
Because you were just telling me about. So.
Yeah, that was off camera.
That's alright. So what have we got? So what are we looking at with the 2024 GTR?
2025.
2025.
So if you want to know about the 0 to 100,
Yep.
so from 0 to 100, you can do it in 5.9 seconds.
So for a comparison there, the standard MG HS is 8.8. So it's a bit quicker. I mean, obviously mine can probably do it a bit quicker now because I've done all the mods and when I get it tuned and stuff.
And apparently this is the first GTR to be able to do this under 6 seconds.
So that might put it away from P platers, to be honest. It might have too much power. It might be forbidden because if they're going to increase the power, which is fine, but that's going to make it so that they P platers have to buy like the TSI version, and that's not what P platers want. They want a performance car.
Or you have to go for the 2023, 2022,
2024s, yeah, that's pretty much it. You have to go for the older models. What else we got on there? What's the top speed?
Top speed, 250 kilometers per hour.
And that's
limited.
Yeah, limited. No one's going 224 in Australia. Straight to jail. Lose your license, lose your car, they cross it. No, if you can get on the road and you get caught doing that, you lose your license for anywhere up to 18 months. They take your car from you, take your license. And,
So
then they, every time when you get your license back, they just hunt you down looking for you. It's just a terrible,
So we've
terrible
got
place
like
for a car
Bridgestone,
enthusiast.
we got Bridgestone, what is it?
Potenza's.
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 Yeah, Potenza's.
Just saying that. Bridgestone Potenza S005 tyres, so they're performance tyres that comes out factory with them, that's good. Even the MGs came out, they're not new models, 2025, but mine, 2021 came out with Michelin Primacy 4s on them, so they were okay. They were just a bit soft, so I wore through them pretty quick.
Oh.
Especially out in the country, driving on dirt tyres and things like that.
Featured, it comes with a 2.0 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine.
2 litre, 2.0, we just call them 2 litres here in Australia. So 2 litre.
2 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing 262 horsepower.
That's not bad.
It's 7-speed
So
dual clutch.
these are at about 212, the MGs, about 212. Horsepower with about 168 kilowatts. Not with the AMT setting, just the standard setting. So it's not bad, but MG's done really well with what they've got with the engine. I mean, they didn't have a lot of. I mean, they have access to the Volkswagen 2 litre engine, but I think I don't think Volkswagen would have liked them putting the Golf R motor in the HS because it would have taken sales away from them being such a cheaper car. If you can all of a sudden get a Golf R for $36,000
Volkswagen go, what the hell?
in an SUV, why are you going to go and buy a Golf R? You're going to buy a $36,000 MG HS, lower it, and then just like blast everyone away. And then you've got all the mods that you can do on any other car. So I think they were limited to like a lower engine, and they went, well, that's not going to be enough to pull the 1.7 ton. So we'll source one from GM, and they found that GM 2 litre engine, and it's great. It works perfect for this car. Attached to a DCT, it's really brilliant. It's not economical, but it's the 2 litre all-wheel drive. It's not meant to be economical. It's meant to be sporty and fun. And MGs were always meant to be sporty and fun, right from when Mr. Kimberfogen made them back in the day. He got a normal Morris car, and then he made it sporty and fun, and then he started making his own off those platforms. So that's essentially what this HS is. You get the normal one, which is the 1.5, and then they've gone and put a bigger motor, the 2 litre, the bigger turbo, all-wheel drive, more safety, more fun, more acceleration, more handling, better handling. It sits higher up so you can drive it on the dirt roads. It's just an all-round perfect starting car. To modify, and that's why I'm modifying mine.
Safety wise, the Mark 8 Golf GTI Cheap 5-star.
Mine had a 5-star NCAP rating as well.
The new one hasn't got updated yet. Hasn't got safety.
What, MGH has? No,
Mark
because...
8.5
No,
8.5 Golf GTI has not been tested yet.
oh, okay.
Because
Well, they will be tested by NCAP, but like it's manufacturers handing over cars to get destroyed. That's the thing, you know. And they have to be in perfectly running order. They have to be ready to be destroyed.
the
So.
colours look nice. A bit like new colours.
Hmm.
And you got your what the hell is it name?
So yeah, as we were saying before about the rims, they're going to be a surprise. They're coming at tax time. I'm not telling anybody because I've got two in mind, and we're going to see them on the car the day that we happen, and then we'll pull away. I want a bronze, but I think it will be a bit too leery and won't fit in with all the other silver and stuff, and I'd have to start painting stuff. So I found a different colour one, and it's like a shadow grey. Both of them are going to be star pattern because with my nerve issues and stuff, it's hard for me to get on the ground there and polish and clean it. So I want something a bit easier to do that. As far as anything else, what do you reckon? There's anything else to say, Widge, or is that it? I think that's it.
Talking about the P plates, yeah, so like the new Golf GTR might fall under those restrictions.
Yeah, too much
Okay.
power, that's what I thought.
So you have to go for your older models like 2022, 2023, 2024.
That's just the clamp down here in Australia. They just make it so hard for anyone to be a car enthusiast. They don't fix the roads. They don't, but then they just keep dropping the speed limits everywhere, and it's just disgusting. It's not helping anybody. They don't have any education on driving.
Because then people get more angry and then just speed.
Yeah, and then you end up having accidents because someone's trying to fly past somebody. Anyway, that's it for today. So drive safe, and we'll see you next time.